Hello, good people of Bills Nation, and welcome to this doubleheader of the NFL on Snyderman Broadcasting. The end of the season is rapidly approaching, and the playoffs are nearly upon us. On the NFC side of the bracket, you have the Cowboys and the Cardinals both in the playoffs. As it sits right now, the road to the Super Bowl does run through Phoenix on the NFC side of the ball, but the Cowboys can very much still clinch that number one spot. And the Bucs are also still in the running for that number one seed, so anything can happen in the last couple weeks of the season. Meanwhile, on the AFC side of things, your Buffalo Bills are competing with the Kansas City Chiefs as well as the Cincinnati Bengals for the number one spot. Both the Bills and the Chiefs clinched a playoff berth last week, so there will be playoff football here in Buffalo, but it remains to be seen where your Bills will end up. We can safely predict they'll end up in a top 3 seed, but it is time for some AFC East football action here at Gillette Stadium on Week 16, where Mac Jones and his New England Patriots are set to take on Josh Allen and your Buffalo Bills. The Bills last week did clinch the AFC East. They are AFC East champions, and they are going to be hosting a playoff game either as the number 1 seed or potentially 2 or 3 seed. But there you look at the AFC standings, your Bills with a firm grip on the division title. So congratulations to the Bills on that big victory. But it is time for some Week 16 action here at Gillette Stadium as Bass is set to kick things off. He's going to boot it into the end zone for a touchback, and we will get our first look here today of the rookie Mac Jones. He had a rough outing last time against these Bills, but all in all, his rookie campaign, not too shabby. Just over 3,200 yards passing for this young man with a very bright future as he steps into the shadow of Tom Brady trying to take the reins on that. The first run there by Damian Harris, who had a decent week last week, doesn't go for much, but it is safe to say that we will probably see a lot from the running game on both sides of the ball. As you can tell, it is very rainy here in New England here today. But Mac Jones under center, he is going to hand the ball off, and that run is going to be stuffed by the stud rookie end, Greg Rousseau, making a strong case for Rookie of the Year right now. And it would very much surprise me if he does not win that title, but that stuff is going to lead to a New England punt, and there you see Josh Allen getting ready to go on things here on this rainy Sunday afternoon. Allen is going to start this drive under center, hands the ball off to Singletary, who has had a wonderful 2021 campaign. The NFL's third leading rusher. He had a decent day as well last week. There you see 11 touches, 71 yards for Singletary. Again, sits number 3 in the NFL's rushing category. Allen is going to be out of the gun here. A little bit of play action. Going to stumble, and he's going to be sacked by Kyle Van Noy. Van Noy bringing down Josh Allen. As there you see, these conditions are coming into play early here in the first quarter, as Josh Allen took that snap, went to scramble, slipped, and then that little slip up was enough time for Van Noy to come in and pick up the sack. So that will lead to a very long field goal attempt here for the Bills as they try to get on the board early. Bass looking for a big kick, and that is going to be wide left. Not the first time we've seen Bass miss a field goal, although that was a doozy of a kick. Had the distance, just didn't have the accuracy. Bass misses wide left, so we are still tied 0-0, and out comes Mac Jones for his second attempt, hoping to get something going for this Patriot offense. Jones is going to get under center here about halfway through the first quarter. He is going to hand the ball off, and he's going to be taken down by Tremaine Edmonds there as Harris gets the toss and gets taken down behind the line. So the Bills, tough defense continues. The front seven for the Bills have been the bright spot. Mac Jones out of the gun. He has to throw it away due to the pressure from Greg Rousseau coming off the edge. And I'll tell you what, these Bills really like what they have in this young man, Rousseau. They are going to definitely look to keep him in the future. But the future is looking bright for this Buffalo Bills defense. There you see the AFC playoff picture now. As we said, the Bills and the Chiefs both clinch a playoff berth. Cincinnati not too far behind. And there are plenty of teams still in the hunt for these playoff spots. Meanwhile, Josh Allen under center. He's going to find Diggs on a quick slant. Picks up a quick first down for these Bills. But the drive is going to stall, and Bass is going to be out for a field goal. But that is going to be a fake field goal conversion as Mitch Trubisky picks up the first down on a great fourth down conversion for the Buffalo Bills on that play. So great trickery there here at the end of the first quarter for the Bills. Allen's going to drop back. He's going to find Diggs on the sideline. Big conversion is going to make it first and goal for your Buffalo Bills. And so the Bills are knocking on the door of this Patriots end zone as Allen's going to drop back, and he's going to waste no time in finding Beasley in the end zone for a Bills touchdown. Make it 7-0 Buffalo as we end the first quarter, or get very close anyway to the end of this first quarter. So not a lot of scoring so far in the first quarter of the game, but your Bills are on the board very quickly. Now 7-0 as Jones takes his offense out to attempt to answer right back. We'll see if the rookie can hold his poise here at the end of the first quarter. Jones is going to be out of the shotgun. He's going to look deep, but he's going to find Levi Wallace for an interception. Wallace taking it down the sideline, and he's going to get a big return on this interception to end the first quarter. That'll be interception number 5 on the season for Wallace. And I'll tell you what, Wallace has had a season here with the absence of Tre'Davious White in this Bills secondary. Wallace has had a big season here for the Bills. 7-0 your score as we head into quarter number 2, with your Bills taking the first snaps of the second quarter. Bills driving now. Allen's going to hand the ball off to Singletary. Singletary jukes a defender. Doesn't get a whole lot in the way of extra yards, and Sanders will go down on this play. We'll see if we see him at all later on throughout the game. Rain continues to fall, and it doesn't look like it's going to let up. Looking at the forecast, we are going to have more rain here to go throughout the game. Meanwhile, Sanders getting checked out there on the sideline. It's not looking good for a return for him in this game. Meanwhile, Bass is going to come out and kick a field goal that's going to make it 10-0 Buffalo here in the second quarter. We will keep you updated on the situation with Sanders, give you an update as soon as we know something. Meanwhile, here's Mac Jones dropping back. He is looking for a receiver, and he is finding Aguilar on the sideline for a conversion there on third down. So that'll be 750 receiving yards on the season for Aguilar there. Becoming one of Jones's favorite targets. Good weapon for a young rookie quarterback there. And he just finds a gap in zone coverage and is able to get away from these defenders. And he really makes Johnson look foolish there. as he attempts to make the tackle and kind of jukes him out of his shoes. Meanwhile, Jones is going to go down hard, and that will be Johnson answering right back with a sack on the corner blitz, and that will be a good bounce back play there for Johnson as he gets his first sack on the campaign. And the pass rush has been huge for these Bills this season. That will lead to a punt for the Patriots. You can't say enough about this Bills pass rush, really. It's been a bright spot for this team. Really led to a lot of these Bills victories, just pressuring the quarterback, not allowing the opposing quarterback to throw the football. Meanwhile, Singletary with a modest gain on that play has the Bills moving. They are into New England territory. Allen rolls out. He's going to find Diggs for the touchdown. That is a 37-yard touchdown reception to Stephon Diggs for the score. Puts the Bills up 16-0. Beautiful, beautiful pass there as Diggs just gets a step on the defender, pulls away, and finds himself in the end zone for a Bills touchdown. Tyler Bass's extra point will make it 17-0 Buffalo as these Bills continue to pour it on here in New England, much like the rain continues to pour on these people here at Gillette Stadium. Not sure why you would sit out in such conditions, but that is not for me to judge. Meanwhile, not a big gain there as Epinesa stuffs the run on third down, is going to lead to a stalled New England drive here, and that will end the first half. We do have an update on Emmanuel Sanders. He will be missing the rest of this game with a wrist injury, so don't expect him to come back in the second half. So we should see Gabriel Davis get some more touches and more playing time here in the second half. Meanwhile, if we head on out to New York, Zach Wilson has the New York Jets ahead of Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars 7-3. Both of these teams in the hunt for playoffs. We'll see what happens there. Meanwhile, we head out to Carolina, where Tom Brady has the Tampa Bay Bucks well ahead of the Carolina Panthers, 21-0 in that game as Sam Darnold is trying to right the ship there in Carolina. Head on back up to Philadelphia, where it is Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles in front of the G-Men, 10-7. Those Giants having a good year out there in New York. Much of a surprise team, really, there in the Giants. The Jaguars, also a very surprising team, having a good season. Bears having a bounce back year in Chicago. So really, this NFL playoff picture is wide open for a lot of teams. It's going to be an interesting playoff bracket here to end 2021. Meanwhile, your Bills are going to start the second half off with the football and a 17-point lead as Singletary rips a big run to start the half and bullies a defender as he picks up the first down, and that will put him at 100 yards even on the day. Singletary moving the chains, but look at this, just bullying defenders, pushing them down to the turf as he gains that first down. Bills with the football driving, 2nd and 1 now deep into New England territory, and Beasley gets his second touchdown on the day. Beasley getting a lot more targets with the absence of Sanders. Beasley been a big target for Josh Allen in the last couple of years. A lot of good things to be said about all the weapons here in Buffalo at this receiving core. Some question marks for the future. Beasley and Sanders are both aging. We aren't sure about either of them moving forward. Retirement knocking on the door for both of those guys, so we will have to keep an eye on that when it comes time in the offseason. But still plenty of football left to play as Jones finds his tight end for a gain there and Crosby misses a field goal. 54-yard field goal there by Mason Crosby goes wide left as he attempts to put the Patriots on the board here in the second half, and nothing doing. So the shutout continues here at Gillette Stadium, much to the chagrin of these hometown fans. And here comes Devin Singletary. Have a day, young man. 109 yards, 13 touches. That will do, Singletary. That'll do. Allen under center now. He's going to hand the ball off to Singletary. Singletary picks up about, let's call it 5 on that gain. 3rd and 9 now. Ball on the 45 as Allen is out of the gun. He's going to drop back. Looking for Diggs along the sideline. Unable to find him. Josh Allen does have to throw that ball away, and that will lead to Matt Hawk punting the ball away there. Great punt by Hawk, and that will be stopped at the 3-yard line. So things go from bad to worse for this New England offense as they have to pick up and go 97 yards if they hope to put a touchdown on the board on this drive. They just need something at this point. If you're New England, you need to put points on the board right now to even have a chance. It's 24-0 in the third. Jones in his own end zone. He's going to be taken down from behind for the safety. And that will be Hughes with that big safety there on Mac Jones, who just didn't see the rush coming and was taken down from behind by Hughes. Big safety there. Makes it 26-0 Buffalo. As the Bills just keep pouring it on, and they get the ball back on the free kick after the safety. Josh Allen leading this Bills offense down the field in a hurry. 2 minutes left to go in the third quarter. Allen probably could have found Knox there, but instead he finds Diggs deep downfield, and Diggs is going to push his way in for a touchdown. So this Bills team continues to pour it on. That was a nice touchdown pass. Could have checked it down to Knox there. Probably would have been okay. But again, Diggs had a step on the defender and just jukes out of the way and finds his way into the end zone for his second touchdown of the day. So not much else to say there, as it is now 33-0 Bills. So if you're Mac Jones, you're just trying to stop the bleeding. You're trying to keep this gap from getting any worse, trying to put some points on the board. Go and play action, looking deep, and he will find Hunter Henry, on a very nice catch. 29-yard reception for Hunter Henry there on the sideline will end the third quarter. But the story here is just the Bills pouring it on at Gillette Stadium. They are not the little brother. They are not the second best team in the AFC East anymore, and they are out to prove it here today, as that is a good gain to start the fourth quarter here. And Jones looking for his receiver in the end zone, unable to find him, and that will be a big miss. It is now 3rd and 5. Nothing doing on the Bills' last drive, as Jones now finds Henry, checks it down, converts on a big third down there. But only 4 minutes left, and it's 33-0 heading towards the end of the game, as Henry gets that nice conversion there on third down, and these Pats are now driving, as Jones has his team in the red zone for the first time today, really. 2 minutes left to go. He's going to find Olszewski in the end zone, puts the first points on the board. So the Patriots avoid the shutout, but don't get any points until 2 minutes left in the game. Late in the game, and the Patriots are finally on the board. And that touchdown pass will do it here at Gillette Stadium as your Buffalo Bills just come into Gillette Stadium and they bully, and I mean absolutely bully, the New England Patriots. Jones just had nothing doing today. Diggs and Beasley both finding the end zone twice. Hughes with a big safety there. New England just couldn't get any offense rolling today. We thought maybe the running game would be a big factor, and it sort of was, but the Bills weren't afraid to pass today either. 4 touchdown passes for Josh Allen there on the day, and Jones just walks away, obviously frustrated. He just couldn't get anything going today, but that will do it for Week 16. As we look around the NFL, the 49ers fall to the Titans there in Tennessee. Green Bay wins against Baker Mayfield and the Cleveland Browns. Indy goes into Phoenix and upsets the Arizona Cardinals. Philadelphia beats the G-Men, so Giants potentially losing their playoff hopes there. We'll have to see what happens. Rams go into Minnesota and get a 6-point victory in Minneapolis. Of course, your Buffalo Bills bully the Patriots in New England. Tom Brady and the Buccaneers, easy victory there in Carolina, 28-7 there. Jacksonville with the come-from-behind win at the New York Jets, 27-21 in that game. Trevor Lawrence pulling out the victory there. Detroit goes into Atlanta and beats the Falcons 43-24. So Detroit with a big win there. Houston beating the Chargers at home. So Houston defending their home field there. Cincinnati takes down the rival Ravens 24-14 in that ball game. Seattle is going to beat the Bears 34-28, again defending their home field up there in Seattle. Kansas City, not even close, 49-7 as they beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. Denver upsets Las Vegas in Las Vegas, 31-10 in that ball game. The Raiders, possibly a playoff team, so that was a big upset there. Dallas beats the football team 42-21, and Miami on Monday night rolls into New Orleans and they beat the Saints. Meanwhile, looking around the NFL, as we talked about, the Cardinals and Cowboys are both in the playoffs. The Buccaneers and Packers and Rams all also gain playoff spots in Week 16. So NFC side of the ball, things are starting to shape out. Again, your number 1 seed in the NFC still up for grabs as the Cardinals, Cowboys, and Buccaneers all have a shot. Meanwhile, the Giants, Falcons, 49ers, Bears, Panthers, the football team, there are lots of teams still alive for these final couple playoff spots. On the AFC side, it's much the same. Chiefs, Bills, and now the Bengals are also in. There are 4 spots remaining in the AFC playoffs, and there are 9 teams competing for those 4 spots. The Ravens, the Titans, Jaguars, Colts, Browns, Jets, Patriots, Steelers, all still alive, and of course the Las Vegas Raiders as well, still alive in the AFC playoffs. So these last 2 weeks are going to be very important in deciding who gets to go to the playoffs, who's on the road to the Super Bowl, and who goes home. Meanwhile, we are in Highmark Stadium as your Bills are going to host Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons. Kyle Pitts looks to have a big game here in Buffalo, but he will have to contend with a tough Bills defense. Meanwhile, there you see Stephon Diggs. Great day for him last week. 7 receptions, 118 yards, 2 touchdowns, with, of course, the longest being that 32-yard touchdown score in Gillette Stadium, where it almost felt like in that victory the Bills were staking their claim to the AFC East for a very, very long time. That felt like a statement win to me there in New England. But here comes Matt Ryan, the ever-reliable Matt Ryan, Matty Ice, if you will. 4,300 yards on the year for Matt Ryan, 28 touchdowns, just 10 interceptions. So Matt Ryan having a pretty good year. Question marks about his future here in Atlanta. He's going to hand it off to Patterson to start the game, though. Patterson with a good run there, about 8 yards, and Ryan has the Atlanta Falcons driving. Ball on the Bills, 19 now. About 8 minutes left to go in the first quarter. He's going to find who else but Pitts for a good 8-yard gain there. As the Falcons continue to drive, looking to put points on the board early. There you see the Bills defense trying to figure out what they can do to stop this Atlanta team from moving the ball, but Patterson is just going to push his way into the end zone, puts the Falcons up early halfway through the first quarter, and we have a 7-0 Atlanta lead after that touchdown. And as you can see, Patterson just wastes no time, hits the hole up the middle, and goes in for the touchdown. Looked like he might have been stopped short, but his momentum and just the speed at which he hit that hole had him carry forward early and get the score. Josh Allen now coming out, 3,700 yards, 34 touchdowns, 18 interceptions on the year for Josh Allen, as he will be on the field for the first time today. He's going to drop back early, pass, looks for Diggs, almost another pick there. As Allen was looking for Diggs along the sideline, couldn't find him. He's going to find Singletary checked down. Singletary gets the first down. Allen has his team driving there in Atlanta territory. Ball on the 32. He's going to drop back. He's going to look deep. Beasley can't pull it in for the score. 3rd and 8 now. Ball still on the 32. Allen's dropping back. Can't really find anybody. He's looking for Diggs. Looked like it might have been picked off, but the refs are going to say that was out of bounds. So instead of a turnover, the Bills get to settle for a long field goal that is good. 49-yard attempt there by Tyler Bass is up, and it is good. So it is 7-3 Atlanta here late in the first quarter. So here comes Matt Ryan out, hoping to replicate his last drive where he took his team right down the field for an early touchdown. They have the lead right now. Allen under pressure, and he just has to throw that ball away. So there again, pass rush. Getting to the quarterback. That's been the key to victory for the Bills. Hyde with the interception. Micah Hyde, staple of this Bills defense for a long time, gets the pick there. There's the AFC playoff picture that we talked about. Of course, Kansas City, Buffalo, and Cincinnati all in as it sits right now. If the playoffs started today, your two wildcard teams would be Jacksonville and Indianapolis. But a lot can change in 2 weeks as Allen was looking for Knox there. Couldn't find him. Allen just 3 for 7 on the day. So not having a good day there as Tyler Bass out for yet another long field goal. This one's 57 yards, and that one's up and good, making it 7-6 Atlanta. Tyler Bass and his big leg have been critical for Buffalo, kept Buffalo in the game. 7-6 to end the first quarter there. Falcons are going to have the ball to start the second quarter. Ball at about the 50-yard line. Cordell Patterson going to be taken down by Micah Hyde there. Drop behind the line. Tackle for a loss is where they're going to spot that ball. 1-yard loss there on the run as Hyde comes up and makes the stop out of the secondary. So good job by Hyde there to read that play and pursue the ball. No advancement there on the on the Atlanta side of the ball, but they are driving, and that would be Kyle Pitts making it 1st and goal for the Falcons on that conversion. Finds a hole in the secondary. If the defense had any weakness for these Buffalo Bills, it is that secondary, as there was no pressure on Matt Ryan that time, and he was just able to find Pitts, the big target, at the tight end position for the 1st down. So it's now 1st and goal, ball on the 7 for the Falcons. No pressure on Ryan again, and this time that one will go for 6 as he finds Sharp in the end zone for the touchdown. Make it 13-6. Extra point will make it 14-6. Atlanta here in the first half. So Atlanta coming in, and they got the lead early. They haven't given it up. But here comes Josh Allen. Been able to move the ball effectively. He's gotten the 2 field goals. Gotten his team within field goal range. But you got to start turning those drives into touchdowns at some point. Can't just settle for touchdowns, and runs like that aren't going to do it. 1st and 10 now, ball at the 45. Allen, play action. He's going to roll out. Looking deep. And he's going to find Beasley. Holy cow. Allen with the gun. We knew this kid was a gunslinger. We're not surprised. But that was a huge, huge throw by Josh Allen. He got it all in one play. Big, big touchdown pass. Call it about a 50-yard touchdown pass to Cole Beasley there. Beasley not big, so that was impressive. Beasley's only about 5'11", slot receiver, so pretty impressive for him to go up and get that ball. Make it 14-13, Atlanta. So lead cut back down to 1. 1st and 10, ball on the 25. Patterson gets the handoff, and he's going to be stopped in the backfield by Ed Oliver. Ed Oliver, another good young piece on this Buffalo Bills defense. On the defensive side of the ball, things are looking bright in Buffalo. Between Oliver, Rousseau, Edmonds, they got a good young core that they are going to be looking to build around. And if they can keep that core together, this defense is going to be deadly. That 3rd down stop will lead to an Atlanta punt, and Singletary will get the ball on the first play of the drive. Maybe a yard there on the first play. Allen does have the Bills driving as Singletary rips a big run, makes one defender miss, makes another defender miss. That is a big yard gain there by Singletary. 15 yards after contact for Singletary, as he just bulldozes really over 2 Atlanta defenders there for the big gain. They just couldn't bring him down. Only way Singletary didn't get into the end zone on that play was he got knocked out of bounds. Allen, don't know what he was doing there. He was looking for Diggs in the end zone, and instead he just throws it right to the defender. If you're Allen, you need to get some more elevation on that ball. That was right to the Atlanta defender. Big throw, or big interception there for Atlanta, but Buffalo's going to get the ball right back as Levi Wallace gets his 6th interception on the season. We've called his name a lot so far this year. But this end of the first half drive, is going to lead to yet another Tyler Bass field goal, which will put Buffalo up to go into halftime. The Bills go into halftime with a small lead. So luckily that interception by Allen doesn't come back to hurt Buffalo. And it's really the two takeaways that you could argue gave Buffalo this 16-14 lead here in Week 17. But around the NFL, if we travel up to New York, it is 10-10 as Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are tied with the New York Jets there in New York. If we head out to Nashville, Tua Tagovailoa has his Miami Dolphins ahead of the Tennessee Titans 14-17. Tannehill and Tagovailoa both with touchdowns in that game. Jacksonville is heading into Gillette Stadium where it is a shootout there yet again for the Jaguars. It is a 14-14 tie there at the end of the second half. Your Buffalo Bills are going to get the ball to start this second half in this game as McKenzie is going to take the ball right out about the 25. So right where he would have been if he would have just kneeled that ball. So to each their own, I suppose, young man. Here comes Josh Allen now. Pretty decent numbers on the day. One touchdown, one pick, of course, and about 150 yards on 11 completions. So not terrible. As Singletary shakes a defender, but is stopped for maybe 2. So a very hard-fought 2 yards there for Devin Singletary. 3rd and 4 now, ball at the 45. Allen's going to drop back. He is going to look for a big throw here to Gabriel Davis, who is not going to be able to bring this ball in. And that missed attempt to Davis is going to lead to a punt by Buffalo. So Buffalo's going to punt this ball away, but there's a flag on the play, and I think we got roughing the kicker. I think we got roughing the punter, roughing the kicker on this play, and we do. So that is going to be a big mistake by Jerron Harmon as Buffalo keeps possession on the roughing the kicker penalty. Singletary now gets the first down and more as he goes deep into the red zone. Ball is going to go to about the 4. Okay, that is Singletary's 5th run that goes for over 20 yards this season, and that is why he is the NFL's 3rd leading rusher. Only behind, I believe, Ezekiel Elliott is number 1, and Nick Chubb right now is number 2 in the NFL. So really good campaign here for Singletary. This is how you make money as a running back. Meanwhile, ball on the 4-yard line, 1st and goal. Allen is going to drop back. He's going to find Sweeney, and Sweeney's just going to make the turn and get into the end zone easily as Sweeney gets his first receiving touchdown on the day. Not a bad backup here for Knox. Sweeney has gotten more involved in the offense this year. Has a couple touchdowns. Not bad at all as the Bills extend their lead out now, 23-14. Buffalo here about midway through the 3rd quarter. Ryan out of the gun. He's got a full set out there that he can look for, and Pitts gets maybe a yard. 3rd and 8 now. Ball at the 48. Ryan again out of the gun. He's going to drop back. He's going to look for and find Pitts, but Pitts is going to be stopped by Micah Hyde. About 3 yards short. Only a 5-yard gain there for Diggs. Big stop by Hyde is going to lead to a punt by this Atlanta team. Great stop there by the Bills. Atlanta's going to try to fake punt and nothing doing. The Bills had that sniffed out the whole way. There was just nothing out there for Atlanta. No hope of converting, and that is a big mistake by this Atlanta team as Devin Singletary, Josh Allen, and company are going to drive this ball deep into Atlanta territory. Allen, he's just going to take this in himself, and that is another touchdown for this Bills team as Josh Allen breaks out his white guy dance moves yet again. Keep telling the guy, don't quit your day job. But Allen runs in for the score extending this Buffalo lead out. And if you are Atlanta, things are starting to feel like they're getting out of hand as time is not on your side here at the end of the third quarter. But when you got Matty Ice, you never know what could happen. Never know what could happen with Matt Ryan. Things can go really, really good when you have him, or they can go really, really bad. 28-3, thank you very much. And Tremaine Edmonds says thanks you very much, as he gets an interception there here to end the third quarter. Tremaine Edmonds picks off Matt Ryan there to end quarter number 3, as it is 30-14 Buffalo going into the fourth quarter. So things can get out of hand very, very quickly here for the Atlanta Falcons. They need a big stop as Buffalo's already knocking at the door. Allen going to find Beasley there. Beasley's going to take it all the way up to the 4, get him within the 5-yard line, and that'll make it 1st and goal, Buffalo. And there's just been no pressure on Josh Allen today. He's been able to find his receivers. He's been able to have all day to throw. And it is 3rd and goal now, rather, as he's going to find Diggs easily, who's going to take a big shot in the end zone. Gets right back up, and that's going to extend this lead out. But Diggs takes a big shot there after the catch in the end zone. Doesn't appear to be hurt, doesn't appear to be phased, and that touchdown pass is going to end the game, as the fourth quarter, nothing really doing on either side of the ball. Each team does get one more score, but Buffalo just runs away with this one, as your final is 44-21 Buffalo, as 3 turnovers for Buffalo in favor of Buffalo are the story of the game, as your Bills just run away with yet another victory here in 2021. That is your playoff picture as of right now. As you can see, the Dallas Cowboys have taken the number 1 seed away from the Arizona Cardinals. So next week, week 18, final week of the season, will determine who gets home field advantage throughout the playoffs, both on the NFC and AFC sides of the ball. If Kansas City goes into Denver and loses next week, your Buffalo Bills will take the number 1 overall seed away from the Kansas City Chiefs, assuming your Bills can handle their business in the final week of the season, as they will be hosting the New York Jets. So with a Bills victory and a Chiefs loss, your Buffalo Bills will have home field advantage throughout the playoffs. But we will have to see what next week brings. Come back right here to Snyderman Broadcasting for Week 18 of the NFL, where your Buffalo Bills will host the New York Jets, and we will know exactly how the NFL playoffs are going to line out.